at the WNBA that Kathy Engelbert saw some of the ratings that I'm about to show you now and said, hey, Indiana Fever, can you do us a favor? Can you do us a solid? Can you just tease a Caitlin Clark return, kind of boost these up a little bit? One matchup, the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the league's two most noticeable names on the court at the same time. Can you just dangle a Caitlin Clark return in front of the fans' faces, try to boost these ratings up a little bit? There was one matchup that this league can consistently rely on to produce massive viewership numbers.
What happens when a league builds everything around one player and then that player goes down? Caitlin Clark's injury just exposed something shocking about the WNBA. Viewership fell by more than 50% without her on the court. Fans stopped tuning in, ticket prices collapsed, and even the All-Star Game ratings nosedived.
In fact, they relied so heavily on this matchup, they put these two teams against each other 5 times this season. But what the league didn't see coming was that if you fail to protect your stars, Caitlin Clark, sometimes they might get a soft tissue injury that takes weeks, if not months, to correctly heal. And that's the predicament the WNBA now finds themselves in. If you fail to protect your stars, sometimes they might not be around all the time. Sometimes they might get nicked up. Sometimes they might get dinged up. And
so here's the question. Is the WNBA really strong enough to survive without Caitlin Clark, or is she the only reason it looks successful in the first place? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Caitlin Clark has been out a month and 1 day. Angel Reese has been out for the last week and a half. This past Saturday, neither of them played on the court. This past Saturday was the lowest rating these two teams have had since Caitlin Clark has entered the league. The first time these two teams matched up this year, massive number. This past Saturday, Angel Reese said, not even worth my time, I'm not showing up. She stayed home. Caitlin Clark out there signing autographs as she always does.
What happens when one star vanishes and millions of viewers vanish with her? That's exactly what we're looking at right now in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark goes down with an injury and suddenly the numbers tell a brutal story that no one in the league office wanted to see. This isn't just a dip in interest, it's a full-on collapse. Clark's quad injury didn't just sideline her from the Fever, it yanked a huge portion of the WNBA's audience right off the court with her.
And then every time since, that number has gone down, 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 down. So that asks the question. Without Caitlin Clark, where does your interest level lie with this Indiana Fever team? Out of sight, out of mind. You're not watching the Fever? You really don't care about the other teams either right now. You're watching the Fever? Yeah, I'll check out that team. I'll check out that team. But no Caitlin Clark? You're not too interested. Without Caitlin Clark, where does your excitement level lie with this Indiana Fever team? And with Caitlin Clark being absent from basketball activities, since Caitlin Clark is out from injury, has that impacted your excitement level with the rest of the teams in the WNBA?
The second the news broke, fans weren't just worried about her recovery, they started asking the bigger question. What happens to the entire league if she's not out there lifting it up? Normally, sports leagues deal with this kind of problem all the time. Stars get hurt, sit out weeks or months, and the show goes on. We've seen the NBA survive stretches without LeBron, Steph Curry, even Michael Jordan back in the day. The NFL keeps trucking when MVPs tear ACLs. Viewership dips maybe a little, but the machine is strong enough to hold steady. The WNBA, not the same story. Instead of coasting through a rough patch, the numbers fell off a cliff the second Clark couldn't play, like the league was held up by just one player's energy. Think about this for a second. TV viewership is down 55% since she got hurt. That's not a small slide. That's not even a normal sports fluctuation. That's a complete collapse that wipes away all the progress people were hyping earlier in the season. It's like someone flipped a switch. and most of the audience turned off their screens because the one person they tuned in for was gone. You expect ratings to fall without your biggest star but to cut in half? That's a red flag screaming that the attention wasn't spread across the league, it was locked on one rookie. And the numbers get even clearer when you look at specific games. With Clark playing, Indiana Fever games were averaging 1.81 million viewers. That's a huge audience by WNBA standards. Without her, that number collapsed to just 847,000. That's less than half. That's almost 1 million fans just disappearing the second her jersey wasn't on the court. Imagine a concert where 90% of the crowd only came for one band, then left as soon as they walked off stage. That's basically what's happening here. People weren't tuning in for the WNBA, they were tuning in for Clark. It's not just regular season games either. Look at the All-Star Game ratings. Last year, with Clark driving sky-high interest, that showcase pulled in 3.44 million viewers. Fast forward 1 year, and it dropped to 2.19 million. That's more than 1 million people gone from what's supposed to be the league's biggest celebration. The All-Star Game should be the event that shows off the whole league's talent, the chance to put every star under the spotlight. Instead, it exposed how dependent the WNBA really is. Without Clark pulling fresh eyeballs onto the broadcast, even the best of the best couldn't hold on to viewers. Let's make it real with the in-person numbers too, because TV ratings only tell one side. Attendance took a hit without Clark, and ticket resale proves it even more. When she plays, people will pay big money just to get in the building. When she's out, you can literally find seats selling for $3. $3. That's cheaper than popcorn in most arenas. It's one of those details that doesn't need spin. The reality speaks for itself. Fans are not showing up if she's not there, and the value of those tickets craters to next to nothing. So what's the mini payoff here? Fans aren't just less engaged, they're vanishing. If viewers cut in half, ticket demand disappears, and even the All-Star Game can't keep momentum. What does that show? It means the WNBA put everything on Clark's shoulders. One rookie has been carrying not just her team, but the financial and cultural weight of a whole league. And when she went down, the league went with her. This isn't just about a quad injury, it's about how exposed the WNBA became by making her the sole centerpiece. So that brings us to the real question. If Caitlin Clark is the financial engine that keeps everything running, how can the WNBA protect itself from a total collapse when she's not on the floor? The WNBA isn't falling apart just because Clark is sidelined. The real problem is the league put everything on her without a safety net. You can't sell people on one player and then expect the hype to stick when she's gone. If they want real growth, they need to protect stars and create multiple faces who can carry games when Clark isn't there. Fans will show up again when she returns. That's obvious. The bigger question is whether the league can stand on its own when she doesn't play, and that's the test still waiting for them.